These summaries are brought to you by Mia, a college student working to earn some extra income alongside her studies. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Our movie today begins with a group of robots invading Earth. At the same time, a family appears fighting these robots while driving in their car. Then we flash back to 4 days before the robot attack, where a girl named Katie begins talking about herself and her family, the Mitchells. Katie says she always felt special and different, but her classmates never accepted that difference. They used to mock her, and she couldn't fit in with anyone, not even her own family. It took them a long time to understand her personality. She adds that the only person who truly understood her was her little brother, Aaron, although he had some unusual interests, like his love for dinosaurs. As for her father, Rick, he never shared her interests and was always too busy to spend time with her. Katie continues, explaining that she worked hard to get into an art academy in Los Angeles. As her travel day approached, her family decided to celebrate and say goodbye. At that moment, Aaron appeared very upset that his sister would leave him. But Katie reassured him that he'd be able to make new friends, and maybe even find someone who's obsessed with dinosaurs like him. Later, Rick comes home from work and finds everyone glued to their phones, so he decides to spend Katie's last night with her before she travels. He also tells her to start thinking of a backup plan in case she fails at the academy. This upsets Katie, who feels like her father always expects her to fail. Katie's laptop falls and breaks, which makes her even more upset. She runs to her room, and her mother, Linda, tells Rick that he's wrong for constantly ignoring Katie's feelings. A little later, Rick watches old videos he recorded of himself and young Katie, playing together and laughing, and he becomes emotional. The next day, Katie finds out her flight ticket has been canceled, and the family decides to drive her to the academy instead. Along the way, her mother looks at photos of their neighbors and calls them the perfect happy family, saying she wishes they could be like them. Katie spends the trip filming everything while Rick tries to impress her but fails. She then sees an ad for a company called PAL, whose app she uses for almost everything in her life. Meanwhile, we see the company's founder, Mark, introducing a new assistant called Pal Max, which replaces the old one. It's a humanoid robot designed to obey any command. Mark assures the audience that these new robots will never turn evil. Suddenly, Mark loses control of the robots. One of them tells him they're now taking orders from someone new. The robots then capture Mark and begin taking over the planet. Back to Katie and her family, they enter a dinosaur-themed exhibit where they run into their neighbors. Linda is clearly frustrated, especially when she sees how happy the neighbors always seem in their travel photos. Suddenly, the robots attack the area, the neighbors escape quickly, and the Mitchells try to do the same but fail. One of the robots captures Rick and flies off with him. Katie insists on rescuing him and tells her family to hide quickly. Meanwhile, the robots launch a global attack, and PAL headquarters becomes their base. Mark then discovers that the cause of everything was his former assistant, a virtual app. After a while, the robots manage to capture almost every human on Earth, except for the Mitchell family. Rick tells his family that he has a plan, but in order to pull it off, they have to get rid of their phones so the robots can't track them. Katie overhears 2 robots talking about a kill code that could destroy them. Suddenly, Katie and Aaron fall from a ledge but manage to hide just in time. Katie discovers that these 2 robots have a glitch. She manages to reprogram them and give them orders. From them, Katie learns that there's a specific code that can destroy the leader robot's brain, and it can be uploaded from a nearby shopping mall. Katie decides to save humanity, and her whole family agrees to go with her to help. Unfortunately, the robots spot them on the road and begin chasing them. After many attempts, the Mitchells finally manage to escape and hide. Meanwhile, the robots begin placing humans in capsules inside rockets, planning to launch them into space and create a world without humans. We see Mark devastated, realizing everything that happened was his fault. At the same time, a robot informs their leader that one family is still free. He shows her a photo of Katie and her family, pinpoints their location, and reveals they're headed to a mall. Katie and her family arrive at the mall, amazed that they seem to be the only people left in the place.